we're going to be looking at some things called percent mixture story problems. About all four of those words can strike fear in the hearts of all sorts of students. We're going to try to make it as easy as we can today. And it is summer school, so we want to lighten it up a little bit, but just hang with us there. I think you can take away some good benefit from the end of this show. Percent's one of the deals. Mixture story problems means, oh my goodness, we got to read some words. And problems just make us go, ooh, that's nerve-wracking. So let's take a look. And this is where we ended up yesterday. We ran out of time, and we gave you basically a start. And you say, well, Ernie, what does that have to do with percent mixtures? Well, we are taking some percents here. There are two of them. We're mixing interest together to come up with a grand total here, all right? And it's a story problem. It is a story problem. There's a lot of wording going on. But for those of you who didn't tune in yesterday or haven't seen the episode prior to this one, let's talk about Tomika and her money. And let's just go back through and see what's going to happen. First of all, the storyline reads, Tomika invested money into a stock that pays 5% interest. Okay? Boom. There's one thing. Stock one. She's got an interest. There's a second stock. She put twice as much into a stock that's paying 8%. There's the storyline. We're going to take interest from the first stock, add it to the interest of the second stock, and that should give us the total interest. Well, what is the total? And it, by the way, is annual. That's in the problem also. Lots of important little keywords. Let's just go back and look. There's interest, 5%, first one. There's 8% interest, and the annual interest from two accounts. So there's an amount of money that's important to us. So I'm going to say, thank goodness, amount of money. There's a number. And notice we've set it up basically that we're going to have to figure out an expression plus some expression gets us to $315 total interest. Everybody with me? Got it written down at home? Take a minute, so. Let's talk about the first account. Let's talk about it. Interest, I equals PRT is what we always kind of think about it. Principal times the rate times the time. In this case, we do not know the principal, but so why don't we call that out here? We'll put a little note here. We'll call that, we're going to say X equals the amount we invest. If I can spell that. In stock one. Everybody got that? That's an amount. Boy, I do get scrungy, don't I? I look at that, I'm going, yikes, that's scary. All right, let's rewrite that. I want everybody who might be just tuning in here. Let's just go back and say X equals the amount invested. Stock one. Everybody good? Nod with me out there? Yeah, okay. That's stock number one. Now, stock number two. What's going on? Oh, we're doing twice as much. So, not X, but 2X. So 2X will equal the amount we invest for stock two. Okay? So we got number one, you got number two. And what are we going to do with them? Well, we're going to put them in at different rates. All right? I'm kind of one of those who likes to be a little more of a daredevil kind of thing. And I'm willing to put a little bit more in at the 8% interest if I know where it's going to be. Maybe I need to have access to that money that's not quite such a high interest rate, whatever. There's also many different reasons why you diversify, and that's the key word, diversification, mutual funds, things like that, because things work differently in how your psyche about investing money is. Enough of my economics moments for you there. But let's do what we do. We do principal times the rate times the time. It's all 1 year, so time is immaterial in this. It's going to be a 1. It's not going to affect it. But what we do have here is a rate. We have a principal that we do not know. Ooh, where did I get that? Boy, that was quick, wasn't it? Remember, rate is 5%. So whatever you do, please don't put 5/10. Do not put 0.5. It's 0.05. Over here, what do we got? 8%. We'll put it right there. And I'm going to put a little parenthesis because we're going to put in the 2X for the principal. Again, remember the time is just 1. And a lot of you are just going like, that's all there is to figuring out this problem? It looked a lot more difficult, didn't it? And by the way, those of you who are still wondering, what is that? That's 2X, all right? And that is going to be multiplied by, there's a decimal there. There's a decimal there. Those decimals are very important, all right? So So let's go ahead and see where we're going here, all right? We're going to pick up, looks like 5/100 x. This one's going to, remember, we're going to double it, so we're going to have 16/100 x equaling out here to looks like about what? Everybody good on it? 315. Now, let's go back and see what the question is asking. We've got equations set up, but we need to keep in mind what is the prize we're looking for here. We want to know how much is invested in each stock. So at this point, you've got our 5% taken care of, we've got our 8% taken care of. We have our money and our twice as much money. That's all taken care of right there. We've got our 315 taken care of. It's just time to figure out where we're going. We're going to add some x's together. We're going to get 21/100 x, equaling to, looks like 315. Now, will it come out even? We're going to find out here in just a second. I think we definitely want to go to the calculator on this one, all right? So let's take it, let's see, 315 divided by, what did we end up with? 21/100. Wow. And put that decimal in there, very important. And we get $1,500, all right? That's pretty impressive. Now keep in mind, you say, well, what does that mean, Ernie? Well, what's our x here? It's the amount we invest where? In stock one. It's always important to define your variables. Define your variables. They may be defined, but define them. Now, what happens if I take that 1,500, I'm going to put twice as much, am I not? That's the storyline, isn't it? So I should have $3,000 here. My question is, if I take these amounts and I put them in each stock, will we come back with $315? Well, the way our math worked out, and y'all go on, well, it came out even, it surely has to work. We hope so. Let's take a look. We'll use the calculator on this one because I don't really want to try to do this mentally in our heads. So let's think what we're doing. We are taking 1,500 and we're going to multiply that times 5/100. Again, notice I had a th on the end of that. And we're going to add, you got it, 16/100 times 3,000. Now, do we want to do that? I don't think we do we? Let's go back. Let's think of the mistake that we're going to make right here. We're good on 1,500 times 0.05. And some of you are going like, oh, yeah, he did 0.16. Then he's going to times 3,000, isn't he? Remember, that 3,000 includes the 2 that I multiplied. That is a common mistake that we make when we check. So again, let's go back just a little bit here. Let's just clear and start it up again, all right? We got 1,500 times 5/100. We're going to add it to, let's just do what we said we would do. We would take 8%, which is 0.08, and we're going to multiply it times our 3,000. That's the correct way to work that. Everybody good? Nod your head. Are we holding our breath? You've already got the right answer at home, right? Let's see. Did we get $315? I am hoping we'd get $315. I want to press the button. There it is. So it does check out. And this is one of those times, dear friends, when the calculator is a wonderful tool to help you get to the final answer. Again, there's the interest we were looking for, 315, 1,500 at 5%, 3,000 at 8%. Take the interest of those and you get the $315. So easy checking, especially if you've got that calculator. Remember I told you, get those calculators ready, all right? So that takes care of our first problem there. We got that cleared up from yesterday. Now you see why we ran short on time. It was like a 10-minute problem waiting for us there. So hopefully you stayed with us through that. And if you came back from the day before, you had a head start, hopefully, and you got to the final answer. We're able to say, yes, got it correct. If not, you now can say, Ernie, I got it. I know how to do it, okay? So mixing it up, mixing things together. Now, let's take a look at another type of mixing, all right? Got a mechanic. Everybody says, when am I ever going to use math? Here we go. Has 30 pints of antifreeze solution that is 80% antifreeze. That means 20% water, okay? 20% something else. How much water should be added to make a solution of 60% antifreeze. Oh my goodness, that does sound a little complicated, doesn't it? Auto mechanics, people who have to change their antifreeze in the car, all that, or want to beef it up or dilute it down, whatever you've got in mind. Here we have a good example, all right? So let's see what the story is. We're going to take 30 pints of antifreeze. We're going to add some pints of water. And we're going to get, well, what are we going to get? Don't put 30x. Nay, nay. We're going to have 30 plus x. That's the total solution, okay? So again, what do we have? We had 30 pints. We'll put t's there. And this is pints. And this is pints. Now, here's where it's very important. We've got percents rolling through here. Everybody nodding with me there. You're seeing where we're going. All right, we have 30 back here. What's going on? This is water, right? So this is, we'll go back a little more, even better with the story. Antifreeze, which is at what, 60%? No, 80% to start with, right? Plus water. And folks, what's water's level of antifreeze? There shouldn't be any in there, right? So we're at 0%. That's kind of fascinating. And what are we going to end up with out here? We're going to end up with 60% antifreeze. So the percent times the amount, the volume in pints here we've got. Percent times pints. Well, that one's easy. 0 times x. But Bernie, the x is going to disappear. Exactly. That's why it's really nice, okay? It's going to work for us. So remember, this was 80%. I'll rewrite it there so everybody can make sure we got it. 80%. And this is 60% we're going to end up. Now, does that make sense? If you add water, which has no antifreeze, will it dilute? Of course. That means it's not as strong, all right? So that's what the story is. We're basically going to say, I've got some antifreeze. I want to dilute it with some water. And I want to end up with a 60% antifreeze solution at the end. That's the story here. You say, well, what are we going to do? Well, we're going to do some multiplying. Because if I take 80%, I'm going to make it into a decimal. Now, everybody, I've been harping about being sure you keep a 0 between the decimal and the 8. This time you don't want a 0. There's 80%. So it's like saying with the decimal 80. Remember, you're moving that decimal here 2 places. So it's just in front of the 8. There's nothing in between, all right? So be sure you got 8/10 there. Multiply it times the amount, the 30 pints. That's going to tell me how much of that 30 pints is, guess what? Yeah, antifreeze, okay? Now, let's keep going. Nothing. Why not? Because that's what 0 times x. In other words, we're going to take the percent times the amount. And that's exactly what we got here. We got 0, 0x is 0, right? Everybody goes like, I hate to see x disappear. Others of you going like, I'm so glad to see x disappear. I would be on this one because you don't want it to hang around if you don't have to. Let's see. Continuing on, we're going to make this 60% go to 6/10. We're going to put our 30 plus x in there. We're going to multiply it out. Everybody see where we are? Does it make sense? Do you understand the story? Again, start with 80%, dilute it with water, come up with a 60% solution. Now, some of you are wondering, Ernie, how did you get that 30 plus x? Well, I put in 30 pints of antifreeze. I put some amount of water. I don't know how many pints, but I put an X amount of pints. See, I don't know that answer. And then out here, I've got them together to make that 60% antifreeze. Everybody got it? So in other words, let's say this was 10. I don't know if it is. But if it were 10 here, that would mean I have 40 of these. You getting the idea? Let's see how this is going to work out. It's pretty easy arithmetic at this point, right? Everybody can do that part. Well, let's make sure we can. Let's go for it. And I'm laughing at this, but I want to make sure that we put the right place for the decimal here. It is going to be 30 times 8/10, which is going to give us 24, not 2. And some of you are so tempted to write 2 4/10 or 2.4. That's not going to fly there, all right? Down here, what have we got? And by the way, that's nothing, right? So left side looks easy. Let's go to the right. We're going to distribute. And let's learn our lesson from what happened there. I think we can figure out that we're going to have 18 plus distributing out 6/10 times x. Ooh, good enough? Everybody good? All right, let's see where we're going to go. We are going to basically have a nice, easy equation to look at. And let's start playing some algebra. Some of you already lost a zero. That's okay. I just want to make sure everybody kind of sees that's where it is. This has all come together nicely. Let's remove the 18. That looks like a good thing to do. It's going to leave me a 6. And over here, I don't know where that 0.1 came in place. That should be 0.6. Sorry about that, folks. There we are. And so we've got 6 down here equaling 6/10 x. Some of you are going like, where did you get that one? We didn't. It just somehow disappeared. It appeared there, right? So we're going to keep that in. And we're going to take and divide by 6/10. So we're going to take our 6 divided by 6/10. Go to the calculator. Work through that one. Let's see. We've got 6 divided by 6/10. I am looking at, 10. Well, that was, I kind of guessed that, didn't I? I said it might be 10. The answer is 10. Actually, it is. So, in this case, our x is equal to 10. Now, let's go back just a second. What does x stand for? X is the pints of water. So, that stands for 6 pints, 10 pints of water, which adds to make 30 plus 10 and gives us 40 out there on the end. So 10 pints of water. Life is good. And can you check this? Certainly you can. Because this is going to be 24 total here. This is nothing. Take a look at what happens when you take 6/10 of what we got here. 10 going in there, 6/10 of 40 also gives us 24. So everything comes back together very nicely there. All right, and that's your storyline. That's how you can check to see very quickly. You can also play with the numbers up here. Obviously, you've got 40 on this side. You've got 40 on that side. That's how you work it, okay? And that's how you check it. So how much water? You got it. 10 pints in this case. Easy enough? Let's do one more here. I think we've got enough time to set one more up and get worked through before the end of the show today. Got Rachel, and she's dyeing hair, it looks like, in case you were wondering. She's got what she needs, she says. She doesn't have. She needs 6 liters of 20% Auburn dye. All right? That's what she wants at the very end. Notice that. But she has, oh my goodness, she's got 40% Auburn, and she's got a bottle of 15% Auburn. All right? So the question is, how much of each should be mixed to get 6 liters of 20% Auburn? All right, so let's talk the story here. We're going to start with a 40% dye. We're going to mix it. It's a good way to say, but we're going to mix it. We're going to mix it together. 15% dye. And come up with a happy medium. Oh, everybody's saying, I get it. I hope you are. 20% dye. See where we are? So that's what she needs. She has this. And she's got this, and we're going to mix them together to get this. But now the question is, how much of each should be mixed to get 6 liters? All right, this is the story. This is the story. Everybody good on the story? We always like stories, don't we? I agree. Stories are good. Now, put the 6 liters right there. All right? Now, do you know how much 40% dye she needs? No, we don't. Do you know how much 15%? No, we don't. And some of you are like, oh, Ernie, are we going to be Xing and Ying here? No, we're not. We're going to pretend we can figure out how to do 6. Okay, what do you mean? Do you know how much 40% dye after? Talk to you, folks. Talk to me. Talk to your TV. Talk to your monitor. Absolutely not. We'll call it X. That was easy, wasn't it? How about this one? Somebody's going, are you going to put a Y there? No. What I am going to notice is, let's suppose I had 2 liters at 40%. I got to have 6 liters total. What am I going to get? 4. Exactly. What if I have 3? I'm going to have 3. How am I getting that, folks? One more run. How if I had 4 here, and how many do I have? 2, right? Because they add up to give me 6. What am I doing? I'm taking whatever the amount is here, which we're calling X, and we're going to call it 6 minus X. And I want you to notice something. If you add 6 and this, my goodness, the x's cancel out. You're at 6. That's a little scary again. We don't like to see x's disappear, but that's okay. We're not going to let them disappear for you, okay? You're going to be fine because we got different numbers here that are going to keep them around. Oh, good. I'm glad too, all right? So speaking of which, let's do some decimal work, all right? Let's change 40% to a decimal, and that's going to be 4/10. Bring the x down for merry measure and very much fun, all right? Here, we're going to bring 15 hundredths down. Make sure that decimal looks good. 6 minus x, and put it in a parentheses because this is distributive property time, my friends. And you want to know what's going on here? We're going to multiply exactly. We're going to take 2/10 times our 6. Everybody good? Everybody's good? I think everybody's good. Let's do it. All right, if we can drop down that lower third, we are in business. Thank you, guys. 4/10 of x. Distribute. Let's see, what do we get? I think we're going to keep a decimal here. Everybody agree on that? Let's find out. Let's clear out what we got. And let's take a look. 15 hundredths times 6. This is where we really want to be careful. We get 9/10. And this is going to be, our decimal is going to be extremely critical here. All right, so everybody remember that. We got to put that in there. Oh, by the way, we've got to distribute. Let's see if we can distribute better than I did on the last problem. We've got plus 15 hundredths x, or do we have a minus? Uh-oh. I hate it when we have to do these things in pen, but such it is. All right, there we have it. So it's a minus. Everybody see why it's a minus? Because we're subtracting. Over here, do a quick multiplication. We're going to get 1 and 2/10. So we got somewhere. Everybody's going like, yay, we are good. We really are doing well here on this. So let's see what's going to happen. Since I now have this big minus sign here, everybody good on that? In case you're just joining us, let's put some like terms together. Now, as I see it, and as you all hopefully see it, we are going to do what? And we're going to use the calculator because I want to make sure we do this right. We're going to put 4/10, and we are going to subtract our 15 hundredths. Everybody good on that? Because that sign is very important to us there. It's not 0.04. Try and do some mental math. Sometimes that gets us in trouble. Let's see here. We have, at this point, 25 hundredths times our x. We've got a positive 0.9 equaling, are we ready here? How about it? 1, 2 there, all right. Now, let's see where we're going here. Again, there we're back, all right. We are going to end up with, it looks like subtracting our 9/10. It's going to give me 25 hundredths x equaling, looks like to 3/10. And I'm going to swing over here, and we're going to do a little division, all right? That's not a multiplication moment. That's a division. Can everybody see that? There it is at the bottom of your screen. Let's go with 3/10, and we're going to divide it by 25 hundredths, which is going to give us 1. Let's see. It's going to give us, what, 1.2? It looks like x equals. And remember, those are your liters. So guess what? 6 minus x equals 4.8. If we were to take, and hopefully we can here real quick, let's try it. Now 40%, remember that's 0.4 times our 1.2 liters. That's going to give us where we're going for the 40% die part of this great mixture. Now we're going to add, you got it, 15%. And we're going to multiply that by 4 8/10, 4.8. Again, that's the 15% part. And we should get 1.2, which is a result of 6 times 0.2. Let's see what we get. 1.2, are we going to get it? We get it. 1.2 checks out, all right? That, folks, is a good thing with the good old percent mixture problems. We hope you've enjoyed this. It's been a crazy problem, hasn't it? But a lot of fun today and something we can all take care and do, and be careful. We will see you again next time with all sorts of more good fun things here on Summer School Mathline. Hope you enjoyed today. And again, we will see you, as I said, next time.
classroom. All of us have roots to PBS.
PBS has been educating me from the time I was a small child.
My son is in love with PBS characters.
PBS was really a foundation of our kids. It can still really be a foundation for our students.
Now that I'm a teacher, I really see the value of using media in the classroom.
My children grew up on PBS. I grew up on PBS, and then the generation now is growing up on PBS.